you love to spin. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. It'll be Jacoby Brissett under center for the Colts. He, of course, made 15 starts in Andrew Luck's absence 2 years ago. Not much required of him last year. He threw just 4 passes total. But that experience as a starter, very valuable in this learning process. A first down throw for Brissett. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Here we go.
This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Anthony Costanzo's a former first-round pick who's just quietly gone about his business of trying to be the best tackle he can. Good footwork, lots of grit and determination, and he works hard each and every game. Trying to keep his quarterback clean and help move some people in the run game.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mack. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Just like that. Just like that.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime?
15 cents.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Brissett on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. But look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They go play action with Brissett. Ebron caught left side. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on Third down conversions to start this thing. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On second down, Freeman. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. He's brought down there by Kenny Moore. You think back to 2018, many people thought it would be Royce Freeman taking over as the lead back in Denver. Spent a third-round pick on him, but it was Phillip Lindsay who would be in the catbird seat as the #1 running back. But still for Freeman, not a bad rookie campaign, 521 yards and 5 touchdowns as the backup. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Jabal Sheard picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And that... is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Brissett. This one complete to Devin Funchess. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Brissett now. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And now Adam Vinatieri. He's into his 40s now. You'd think low to mid-50s, probably about the outside of his range. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Justin Houston, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Flacco from the shadow of the goalpost. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So here are the Colts to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Bissett. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll run on 1st down. Mack. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On play action, Brissett. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Brissett. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. And he connects with Ebron. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays. And that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Philip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, D.
Flacco on the give to Lindsay. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. A run with Lindsay out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Jamal Sheard on the stop. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
On 2nd and 15 now. Flacco. And that's caught inside the 35. That one good for 37 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Got that snap off. Flacco now. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, Flacco. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 13-yard line. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Broncos on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And McManus able to put it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
A reminder, later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 Series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL Championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one. First down, Brissett. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Brissett. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Colts on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. On third down, a run by Mack. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
We got this.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Let's go. Let's go.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still first down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Still first down.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Here's Lindsey. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Push him back. Push him back.
Third and long for Joe Flacco. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Jabal Sheard able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing, Brissett. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime, Minks, had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Now Flacco. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So after that 4th down stop, Charles, you said it was almost guaranteed points the other way. Indeed, they do cash in, but only 3.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They got the points, but it should have been more. With that type of field position, the setup that they had, I think it was almost a loss for them that they only got 3 instead of pushing across the line for a touchdown.
Here we go. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Von Miller, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. To throw, Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Brissett. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Take it at the 37. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Around the NFL, third quarter from Foxborough. The Browns, they've scored again, extending their lead. On first down, it's Lindsey. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. It's a give to Freeman running right. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're... And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Royce Freeman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to someone, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Brissett nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now Brissett. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that...
Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one, maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
And he stopped immediately there. Pierre Desir in on the stop. run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now it's Freeman. Oh, some strong running. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets us forward for about 8 or 9. And it looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Monday.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now a carry for Lindsey.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait, because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
On 2nd down, it's Lindsey. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double up. Double up. Hey, red.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll go again with Lindsey. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Brissett. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Brissett. And that is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Brissett to throw for it on 4th. He's going to let it fly. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Thank goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. So this one fairly well in the bag as they take over with a 1st and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Phillip Lindsay with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So the Colts now down by 10. And time, a huge factor. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Brissett looks to throw to the right side to Eric Ebron. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. To throw again on 2nd down. Brissett. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Check, 47. Here we go.
Here's Brissett. Ebron caught left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a 1st. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right? That reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points. Defense held them. And lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for Denver, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner,